These question cards came about when I was in New York City with my co-founder, Steven, and we were having a lot of conversation with young professionals and started to hear a lot of concerns about how they feel treated within their workplaces and how they feel differentially treated versus their counterparts who do not look like them. So we started doing extensive research on young professionals in Chicago, in New York, in Johannesburg. And as we were having these conversations, we started collecting these themes and questions of things that they wished they could talk about within the workplace, but they felt they didn't have a space to talk about it, and they didn't feel safe to talk about it. So we wanted to create these question cards that would help us speak about these things that are negatively affecting our culture, negatively affecting our productivity, and negatively affecting our creativity within the workplace. And once we start having these conversations in a very disarming and light-hearted way, using these conversation cards that are non-confrontational, but enable everyone to bring their perspectives. So what it does, it starts filling that knowledge gap on each other's culture and each other's differences, and helps us understand each other better, which helps us work with each other better, and which helps us avoid some of these biases that we bring into the workplace that prevents us from doing our best work. So I'm really excited that after a year of research and working with young professionals from around the world, that these cards are ready for all workplaces. And some of my friends have been using them at their house parties. So there's a lot of use cases for them. And I'm excited to see what this is going to do for your workplace and how it's going to continue the conversation on inclusion beyond just an implicit bias test, beyond just a 2-hour implicit bias training, and really building into the day-to-day running of the business and the day-to-day operations, which is what culture is. Culture isn't those inflations of that one speaker or that one event. It's what happens in between. And how do we build inclusive culture consistently throughout? How do we build a tool for us to have conversations that are otherwise difficult for us to have if we're bringing them to the table? How do we have a tool that takes away the responsibility from us starting the conversation, where now it's part of the Monday meeting culture, it's part of the ARG culture, it's part of the team culture that we go through one question a week. Let's create inclusive workplaces together. We're excited to be here in this journey with you and support you. Just remember, the best dogs are made with diverse ingredients.